Okay. Welcome to the experiment. This is... Oh, I see what's happened. You guys are getting me sideways. I'll fix that for you now. In the meantime, you should say something in the chats. So if you're watching from Patreon, you have to actually click the link all the way through and then come to YouTube. All right, well, that's an improvement. I have to figure out how to make it actually properly landscape oriented for next time. Okay, hey, no privacy. Am I back now? Is the connection good again? All right. Well, welcome to my live stream, everybody. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to arrive. I'm expecting it to be a small party today, but this is an experiment, so hopefully the first of these experiments will be a success. I'm just going to turn off this reverb for a sec. Yeah, so keep chatting, keep telling me. How can you hear what I'm saying? Audio is low. Okay, you might need to turn it up yourself if you can. What happens if you turn it up all the way? No privacy. If you turn it up all the way on your end, are you still unable to hear me? Because all I want to do is make sure that I don't peak for you guys. I'll turn it up a little bit in the master for you. And then you'll have to tell me if you're getting a buzzing sound from too much. Okay. Gotcha. Let me turn it up then. All right, how's that? Is that better? Can you hear that now? Anybody else out there want to comment on the YouTube chats and tell us what the volume's like? Because I don't want to cause you guys grief when I play and it's too loud, because that will cause distortion and that's awful. So... Yeah, I had reverb on before. That's right. Okay, well, tell me now. No privacy. You can tell me if I do a tiny little bit of music for you. You're my sound checker, okay? I'm going to sing something loud. I want you to tell me if it peaks, if it creates a hissing sound. Silver and gold, yellow symphony. Ooh. How's that? Did that get you? Did it buzz? Did it distort? Okay. Then I'm going to have to turn it down. And we're just going to have to do the live stream like this. I definitely checked it before, checked that the volume was all the way up. I did the best I could to try and balance it. Okay. All right, I'm going to get started. So we'll just see how this goes. I'm just going to chat through this set. I'm going to tell you what all these songs are about. And then I'll upload the whole thing to YouTube afterwards for anyone who's not able to stick around or misses the first bit. It'll be available for you all. All right, and we will definitely get better at this as we go. Hopefully next time I'll be able to get the volume up for you, no privacy, without creating a nasty distortion. All right. All right, so this first one is called Ode to Free Speech. I wrote it about 2 years ago, but it's been evolving ever since then. And I actually initially wrote it just as a standard sort of pop song. It was in 4/4, and then I realized that I wanted to do it for a concert, a jazz concert at the Opera House. I'll turn off my reverb while I'm chatting with you. I wanted to do it just for a concert with a jazz singer, and so I sort of had to think of ways to make it a bit less poppy and a bit more interesting rhythmically. So I turned it into 5/4. So there are 5 beats in every bar. And then in the original version that we did at the Opera House in 2017 with Kristen Barati, there was a big section in the middle where the bass player and the drummer had a field day and improvised. But this will be an abridged version for you all. And it's all about my struggles with realizing that I was not aligned with many of my friends and colleagues politically. Just coming to realize that I had sort of a divergent perspective on many issues, and I was feeling a bit lonely and unsure of myself. Like, why is it that I feel differently about so many things? And as the years have gone by, the past couple of years, I've sort of just accepted that that's who I am. And now I'm writing a lot of songs with that sort of sentiment in mind. But this was back when I was still struggling, feeling a bit isolated about it. So this is called Ode to Free Speech. Lonely in the middle, somewhere half between the shadow and the light. Somewhere in the middle, in between the extremes, feeling wrong and all right. I'm lonely in the middle, when the world has teams and everyone picks a side. Wake me up when it's over. Oh, won't somebody please take over this fight? I want a conversation. I want all the songs and speeches to be heard. But reason failed emotion. It's not black and white. Why can't we fight with words? Yet somehow fear is blinding and binding too, as we gather to shout. But all the bleaching and the grinding will not scrub our demons out. but all the bleaching and the grinding will not scrub our demons out. Okay, so I'm going to check in with the chats now. I'm going to see. I'm going to turn my reverb off first so I don't sound like I'm in a chamber. All right. Oh, hey, baby. Hi, Mom. Okay. Count Olaf. This is my fiance, Count Olaf, in the chats. Is it too soft? Because no privacy is saying that it's a little soft. This is great. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Cool. Olaf says that the sound is great. What about you, Mom? What do you say? Can you hear everything? Oh, sound is good. Okay. Awesome. Yay. Ah, oh, no worries, no privacy. You guys just tell me if anything peaks. Because I did a massive experiment today. I ran so many tests and I tried to get the volume just perfect, but there's a chance that there'll be some issue at some point. So just tell me. This is good. We can just, run this as a little experiment. Okay, and how is the quality of the video? Because mine is ridiculously pixelated from where I'm sitting. Is it pixelated for you guys as well? This is just like a giant tech check. All right, let me know about the quality of the video. Yeah, pixelated. I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that for next time. That's not something I can fix right now, but good to know. All right, so what shall we do next? Let's see. All right, I'm going to do this one. This one is actually about my parents. I don't want to embarrass anybody, though. My father has suffered from rheumatoid arthritis for many, many, many years of his life. And he used to have this recurring dream about waking up in a dilapidated old house. And he would always wake up in the same house. And there would always be this encroaching sense of anxiety. This house is falling down. I'm in danger. And always this sense of hopelessness. Like, what on earth can I do about it? And then he made some massive improvements in his health recently, and he had the same dream for the first time in decades, but he woke up, he'd had the dreams many times throughout the previous decades, but this was the first time he'd ever had the dream where he'd woken up in the house next door, and the house next door was fully intact and everything worked and the roof wasn't caving in. And my mother, who is a clinical psychologist and a fan of Jung, I believe, right, Mum? You can confirm, actually told Dad initially that the house in the dreams was probably a representation of his body, and that apparently it's quite common for people to dream about houses and for that houses to sort of represent the state of their body. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. My mother is very wise. She's very wise, and I'm very lucky to have a mum like her. All right. Yeah, no privacy. I know, it's awful. If you guys know anyone who has it, I can see the calendar. Sorry, I'm just reading other people's things. Yeah, if you guys know anyone that has it, what worked for my dad was a no-carb diet, just meat and vegetables. Some people are actually allergic to carbohydrates. People who suffer from intense inflammatory diseases, I think that's really common. So that's the new wisdom. All right, so this one's called The Same Old House. Same old house, floating drifting into your sleeping reverie. What's that about? And in this house, you can draw everything from memory. Why couldn't you move out? Why couldn't you move out? Familiar floors always need sweeping, and the carpet stained. Old and worn, creaky doors, layers of dust upon the window panes. In dreams you can be sure this house was always yours. This house was always yours. It almost drove you crazy. Ooh, almost crazy. If only you could stay asleep long enough to find a place to keep a roof you could rely upon, a bed you gladly lay your head down on. Oh, what you wouldn't do to move out and move on. You guys, I forgot to turn on my reverb. Now it's back. Someone new into your life, and she saw everything. She saw through and into you, right to your deepest fears and sacred things. How was it that she knew to help you see it too? Yes, you'd been living with joints that didn't work so well, in agony, and so it seems. Broken and cold were places that you dwell. Your body was the theme that built the house you dreamed. It built the house you dreamed. It almost drove you crazy. Ooh, almost crazy. If only you could tear it down and build the safest house in this whole town, a roof you could rely upon, a bed you gladly lay your head down on. Oh, what you wouldn't do to move out and move on. Years go by, patiently learning how to heal yourself and free your mind of wondering why you always had to battle for your health, the sadness in the sighs, the never-ending fight. Then one night, you dreamed you'd moved into the house next door. What a sight, it was right. insecure. In dreams you were set free. You're getting well, it seems. You're getting well. It seems you're finally resting easy. Ooh, now to sleep. All right. Let's see how many people we've got here now. 7 people. You know, that's actually awesome because, like, getting 7 people to a gig is really hard anyway. Especially in a city where you don't know that many people. This is awesome. I totally could do gigs from my living room from now on. All right, any feedback on the sound? Let's see. Hi, pub test. Nice to meet you. All right, no distortion, no feeding back. So far, so good. Fantastic. Don't need reverb. Oh, I think we've had this conversation before. Is that right? Aposematic? I definitely don't need the reverb while I'm talking to you. I need the reverb when I'm singing. Otherwise, I go crazy listening to the sound of my dry voice. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do one that my lovely mother requested. This one is, it's called The One with the Gun. And I think it could be a gun control anthem, although I'm not really like a full-on gun control person. I understand that in the USA, people have the right, to bear arms. I understand that intuition, and I think a lot of the proposals about stricter gun laws would actually not achieve the desired results. I think a lot of it's just political hoo-ha, political rhetoric that wouldn't actually produce the desired outcome. But this song is just about what happens when people have the tools to produce destruction. The fact that there are many ways to produce destruction. There are many ways to cause harm, to cause grief, and that we all have the capacity for it, given the right conditions and the right tools at our disposal. And I know that's a bit dark, but this is a dark song, and it's called The One with the Gun. Dressed up like a tough guy today, badges and uniform tell the world it's gonna be okay. Misdemeanor between a finger and a trigger. Half a second and his life changed forever. Was a weapon drawn? Was a weapon drawn? In the moment of heat, I was only trying to keep the peace. God knows I was so afraid, and just by chance I was the one with the gun. I was the one with the gun. She's turning 60 and her demons have won, spiraling down in her imagination. Every moment is tinged with trepidation, so they understand, pen and paper in hand. Those that love me, dry your eyes. This is getting too much and I'm so tired. Certainly there's peace to come, and besides, I am the one with the gun. I am the one with the gun. Young men gather to worship the one. Hatred disguised in divine revelation. Anger hides behind courage and elation. Watch them on their way, this is what they say. Faithful people never die. Nothing here on earth compares to paradise. This is an act of love, oh lucky me. I am the one with the gun. 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 And the book has won. Thanks for the request, Mom. Radio City Music Hall acoustics. Ah, is this where you work? Aposomatic. Or are you saying that this sounds like Radio City Music Hall? I doubt that. I doubt the latter is true. I appreciate your feedback. It sounds fine without reverb. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're too kind. I can't handle it without reverb. But I will consider using less. I will consider that for sure. All right, keep the questions coming, guys. I mean, the feedback questions, I love it. Especially questions about the songs. If you have any requests for covers, that's what I do for most of my gigs now is piano bar work. So I'm into that as well. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do... I'm going to do this song about this crazy dream that I had. It's called The Edge of the Night. It was a whack, 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 whack dream where I had brought on my own demise. I had done something really, really terrible and caused a lot of havoc. It was just one of those, you know, worst case scenario nightmares where all the things that you worry about going wrong in real life actually go wrong. Yeah, and I met my mentor, one of my mentors, one of my great friends in this dream after I'd caused this catastrophe. And he said to me, whatever has happened, no matter what it is, it's okay. It's okay. And I know that sounds really banal now that I say that to you, but at the time it was unbelievably comforting, especially coming from this person. And then I woke up and realized that I'd actually constructed this person. I'd constructed a version of this person and their wisdom had kind of filtered through to me, but it was my own brain creating them. And that made me think about how we are capable of adopting different states of consciousness. You know, we're actually able to see the world from different perspectives. We kind of live every day in this one identity. We play these roles, but actually we're quite capable of imagining or creating somebody else's perspective. If we can dream it up, then why can't we do that in real life? Why can't we do that when we're awake? Why can't we create people that we wish we could talk to and imagine what they would say and believe it, you know, with such a strong sense of it being real? I found it quite spooky. So this one is called The Edge of the Night. I'm going to change my sound. So this is an electric keyboard sound. I'm going to get my reverb back on. I'm going to check in with the chats one last time. Okay. You guys got that? Different sound? All right. I was walking by an angel in a dream where I'd arranged my own dismay. He said no matter what has happened, even if the world is ending, it's okay. Said even if the world was ending, he'd accept it, for it's all part of life's course. Even if justified. Now you know you must defy their force. Everything I was afraid to fight gathered round and sang in warm delight. And through the haze of sleep I felt the edge of the deep dark night. The deep dark night. I was dancing with a demon. At the time I did believe in his disguise. I did not reprimand his cunning, 'cause I didn't see it coming, my demise. God only knows if we could discipline our spirit, would we know just where to start? Didn't someone say of good and evil, that line runs down every human heart? Everything I was afraid to fight gathered round and sang in warm delight. And through the haze of sleep I felt the edge of the deep dark night. The deep dark night. You know what I just realized, you guys, whenever I record these songs with this setup, I always have to edit out my swallows. So you're probably hearing me swallow a lot right now. I apologize. You should tell me that. Tell me that sort of thing in the chats. This is the kind of stuff I need to know. Can you hear me swallow in between phrases? Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Thank you. Aposematic. How do I actually say that? Can you please spell it phonetically? Or is it already spelled phonetically? Aposematic. Aposematic. All right. Let's see. I think it's time for... This one is for one of my absolute best friends. I haven't told this particular friend that this song is about them. I'm waiting for them to figure it out. And I'm definitely not going to name names. Not for this one. This is for a friend that had a difficult, very, very difficult childhood and is just at the point now where they are beginning to confront the memories of that childhood and work through it and try to move on. And it's been quite traumatic having to accept what actually happened and come to terms with it. So, excuse me, this one is called Too Many Words because when we were teenagers, I wrote a song for this friend. And looking back on it, it was appalling. And like most of my music, it had way too many words, words that didn't mean as much as they perhaps could have. So hopefully now, it's been 10 years, it's been actually 12 years since I wrote the first song. Hopefully this one is a little more mature, a little more meaningful. But no doubt it still suffers from the problems of being a song, and I wish that songs could fix people's lives. Sadly, they cannot, but it's the small thing you can do for someone is write a song. So this one is called Too Many Words. Caught in the undertow, treading water, it gets harder over time, staying afloat inside a flooded home, where they saturated your mind, spinning a punctured tire, kept at bay by a fake lie remedy. You were sung out by a drunken choir. You were played by a broken machine when we were young. I wrote you a song with way too many words and way too little hope, and now I want to come home and make it better. Oh, bracing against the force of strong winds as you begin to unfold, and yet you carry on, and you somehow keep the ship afloat. Stoic and brave, you fought for a chance to see it all through to the end. You're a miracle of strength and light. You're a hero, don't you know, my friend? When we were young, I wrote you a song with way too many words and way too little hope, and now I want to come home and make it better. Oh, I wish I could compose the music you deserve, but on it goes. I write too many words. When we were young, I wrote you a song with way too many words and way too little hope, and now I want to come home and make it better. Oh, I wish I could compose the music you deserve, but on it goes. I write too many words, my dear, I swear I'll learn. The words are not what's needed, but still it seems absurd. I cannot quite believe it, but one more thing I'll say. For if these words aren't spoken, I think they go to waste. I know you can't be broken. These words won't go to waste. I know you can't be broken. These words won't go to waste. I know you can't be broken. All right. Thank you. No privacy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, who else do we have here? There are at least two miscellaneous people. We're not going to find out who they are. Never mind. The mystery people. Thanks for being here for my first live stream. What do you guys think? Could I do this every month? Get a better camera, maybe. Less pixelation would be good. This is a great way to do gigs. I'm really into this. All right, I'm going to do the first song that Trash Can Dream ever released together. And this one's all about moving to New York City. It's about what happens to you when you're a young person and you express an enthusiasm for the idea of moving overseas And all the older people that you know, like your parents and all your parents' friends and your mentors, are just so enthusiastic. And I sort of feel like, in a way, they probably know how crazy and difficult and life changing and turbulent it's going to be, but they want you to go through it. That's the feeling that I got, was that people knew that this was going to be diving into the unknown, and they wanted that for us. They wanted us to have that experience. So moving to the city was like being a child a little bit, or sort of coming out of childhood. I guess I feel like I came out of childhood finally at the age of 25 when I moved here, 26 when I moved here. So this one's called Out on the Sea. There is a boat on the ocean, fabled in old mystery. Yes, ever since the beginning, curious people got out on the big old sea. When you're a child on the mainland, people say run to the sea. Hoist up your sails and get going. Nobody knows where you're headed. Just wait and see. Wait and see. Patiently drifting out on the open, onwards and upwards and over the sea. Over the sea, onto sandy beaches with the swaying palm trees like in the movies. We made some friends on the ocean, like-minded creatures we meet. We stared at the sky in wonder, sailing together, we kept ourselves company. Strange water monsters have we seen, seasons we somehow endured. We kept the ship clean together, we know the difference between north and south, it seems. So it seems. Is the boat leaking? Are the boards creaking? Nothing to do but keep dancing and see. Just keep dancing till we see a glimpse of somewhere on the horizon we'd rather be. There is a boat on the ocean, fabled in old mystery. Yes, ever since the beginning, curious people got out on the big old sea. I gotta say, I miss Count Olaf. I miss your drumming. You got another buzz, do you? Okay. No privacy says he's getting a buzz. Did anyone else get a buzz? Anyone else getting distortion? Is Olaf still with us, or is Olaf on the subway? I will sing Chelsea. Mama, I will. All right. Let's do that one now, actually. All right. This one is a response. I don't know how many of you, of my little mini audience here, live in New York City, but we recently had some pretty major changes in the abortion laws and basically making it much, much, much easier for women to get late-term abortions into the third trimester, right up until giving birth, in fact. And whilst I am pro-choice, I do believe that there's a limit to how many weeks, months a woman needs to make a choice or to be given the chance to make a choice. And obviously, there will always be some outlier circumstances where late-term abortions are necessary to protect the life of the mother, but the law has been changed. It's no longer to protect the life of the mother, it's to protect the health of the mother, and that includes mental health. So it's basically open to interpretation, and there's precedent in other states that this particular wording of the law results in doctors giving late-term abortions for reasons that have nothing to do with fetal viability and nothing to do with protecting the mum's health. You can get late-term abortions in some places just because you think that it's going to cause you mental distress to have a third child. It's very frequently women that already have children and have decided they can't go through it again. Now, I've never been pregnant, so I don't know what that's like, and I realize that, there are difficult circumstances that people have to deal with, but I was really disturbed by the changes in the laws and by the normalization around abortion in this city. The fact that so many children are aborted here, it's so normal. It's like, I think if you're a young woman who's lived here for several years and you haven't had an abortion, like maybe you're an exception to the rule. I don't know. It's ridiculous how common they are. So this one is about a fictional character called Chelsea, who gets pregnant from a one-night stand and is trying to figure out what she's going to do in the climate, in the culture where it's been so normalized to abort the baby. And it's kind of, my voice comes through as well, sort of saying, hey, like, this is a chance to turn over a new leaf, and maybe this doesn't have to be the end of the world. Maybe this can be a good thing. It's kind of what I think I would say to someone if I had a friend that was going through that. So this one's called Chelsea. Chelsea's a waitress at a cafe on Madison Avenue. In the evening she's chasing her second-hand dreams like the New York kids do. Falls into someone's bed, a stranger's hand behind her head. Oh, Chelsea, stay home instead. Too many bourbons, another man's hands wrapping around her waist. But she's done this before, throws her hair back and waits for the aftertaste. 5 minutes of passion glowing, and 25 days of not knowing. Oh, Chelsea's belly will soon be growing. Oh, Chelsea, have mercy on yourself. Don't cry, Chelsea, you don't have to be a New York lady. Chelsea's a good girl, she knows not to fall back on any man. Why settle down when there's so much self-knowledge to understand? You have it all one day, that's what they always say. Oh, Chelsea, you'll be okay. Oh, Chelsea. Everyone else in this town's in a hurry to just stay young. Seize every moment, keep moving, and don't leave a song unsung. And if it don't go to plan, wash it away like sand. Oh, Chelsea, get out while you can. Don't leave this song unsung. This one's a good one. Don't leave this song unsung. This one's a good one. Don't leave this song unsung. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. Oh no, distortion. All right. Oh, that's a shame. All right, I'll turn down the master. That should help you guys with that. You might have to turn up the volume manually on your devices. That should help with the distortion. We'll see. We'll find out. All right. Let's see. So we have a pretty amazing story over here in the States. Most of you will have heard about this. A man by the name of Jussie Smollett has been accused of a hate crime hoax. So basically, a couple of weeks ago, he reported being attacked by a couple of gentlemen wearing balaclavas and Make America Great Again caps, who basically approached him at 2 a.m. when he was on his way home from Subway, beat him up, poured bleach on him, yelled, "This is MAGA country," and then left him. Oh, and put a noose around his neck. So Jussie Smollett is a gay black man, and he's sort of a little well known, I guess, in Chicago because he's the star of a television show called Empire, or at least he's one of the leads in that show. Anyway, the stories kind of seemed a bit fishy, partly because it happened in Chicago, where I think like 84% of the population voted Democrat. And so the idea that there'd be racist Trump supporters there is in and of itself a little hard to believe. Anyway, it just, over the weeks, it's kind of unraveled, and it's been shown that Jussie Smollett actually paid two Nigerian men, so black men, to stage the whole crime, basically, to run up to him in the street and punch him to give himself a little bruise under the eye and pour the bleach on him and put the noose around his neck. They found the check where he paid these guys to do it, and they found the receipts of these Nigerian brothers purchasing the props to produce the hoax. So it's pretty damning, and I was thinking, I really want to write a song about Jussie, and I think I will, but I also think I already have a song that is kind of about Jussie. It's my song Indigo. So I think the thing that disturbs me the most about this whole thing is the fact that like a large portion of the media and politicians in this country were actually more disappointed to hear that this was a hoax than they were disappointed to hear about the alleged incident in the first place. So there's a portion of the population that had an appropriate response, which is, a little bit suspicious when they heard about it, and then relieved, happy that it didn't actually happen, happy that it was just a hoax. Although obviously, like, angry that someone would do that and someone would tarnish the reputation of their fellow Americans and, try to make out like this was a racist hellhole when maybe it isn't. But there's a large portion of the population, Democrats, politicians that are running for president, and the media as well, who are clearly very, very disappointed that this story didn't turn out to be true, because they actually need it to be true, because the narrative helps them. The narrative supports their version of the world, and it basically, it justifies their existence. It legitimizes their political campaigns. It legitimizes, for the media at least, it legitimizes their narrative about the fact that we live in a dangerous country and that the president is evil. You know, I don't really like Donald Trump, but I don't think he's evil. I think he's just an idiot sometimes. But I also think that artists and creative people like Jussie Smollett, I think we often fall into the trap of needing tragedy, needing injustice to fuel our creative energy. And I think when we can't find actual injustice and actual tragedy, sometimes we're at risk of constructing it, of manufacturing it, so that we can then respond to it and create art or get attention or somehow express ourselves. And I think this is a dangerous trait that a lot of artistic, creative people have. And I know that I've definitely fallen into that trap before of, you know, creating drama where there doesn't need to be any, you know, and seeing injustice and tragedy where perhaps there isn't any. And, you know, maybe that's an asset for some people as well, is being able to understand how people are suffering. But I think in Jussie Smollett's case, it's a vice, big time. And I think if he gets what he deserves, he's going to go to prison for at least a year, because he wasted like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of resources, police resources. And, you know, he attempted to smear people in the process, and he was quite willing to send two innocent men to prison for a crime that they didn't commit. So it's pretty nasty. So this one's for Jussie Smollett. It's called Indigo. Another artist, another dream. As sunlight pours across his worn out balcony, silver and gold, yellow symphony, but still he needs indigo. Puts pen to paper, words to melody. He captivates everyone who shares his company. Shades of bright colors in everything he sees, but still he needs indigo. He does not endure stormy weather. The clouds avoid him altogether. The world around is warm and gentle, and yet he hopes the walls will tremble in sympathy with the potency of indigo. Don't you know the depths, the darkness of the waters that flirts and plays with loneliness, seducing the shadows, inspiring the mesh of those who need indigo. He does not endure stormy weather. The clouds avoid him altogether. The world around is warm and gentle, and yet he hopes the walls will tremble in sympathy with the potency of indigo. All right. Coming up to my last couple of songs. He was on Empire, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, he just got written out of the last 2 episodes. Serves him right. My goodness. What a world we live in where people actually want hate crimes to occur, where people actually need them. It's like fuel for their fire. They just have to have their hate crimes. My goodness. It's so sad. But that's America for you. All right. I'm coming up to my last few songs, so I'm actually going to do the one called Mercy of the Moon. This one is for my friend who suffered from I witnessed my friend suffering severe performance anxiety. And I didn't realize that this friend suffered from that until I witnessed it backstage. And it was heartbreaking because this friend is an incredible, incredible performer, incredible musician. This one is about accepting the ups and downs, the emotions, the extreme, visceral reality of trying to produce art, and basically accepting that maybe to produce art you have to be a highly sensitive person with lots of feelings. So, oh hey, Olaf is home. So this one is called Mercy of the Moon. I hope you enjoy. It's going to be very different without drums. River to the sea, mercy of the moon, the tides will be. River to the sea, mercy of the moon, the tides will be, the tides will be. Mercy of the moon glowing through the gloom, the tides will be, the tides will be, come what may. River to the sea, mercy of the moon, the tides will be, the tides will be, come what may, she will stay. River to the sea, mercy of the moon, the tides will be, the tides will be, come what may, she will stay, let her light up your face. darkness while things wander. Somewhere within, a child still sings over and under. Thousands of storms and floods you see. Dangerous waters crash around you. Steady upon your own 2 feet. Mercy of the moon. Love is a strange and frightening thing. Deep in the darkness while things wander. Somewhere within, a child still sings over and under. Thousands of storms and floods you see. Dangerous waters crash around you. Steady upon your own 2 feet. Mercy of the moon. All right, everyone. It's getting late over here, so I'm going to do one more for you all. AA, Mom says. Insightful. False flag tactics are everywhere. I agree. Yes. Yeah. Were you going to say something else, Mom? What were you going to say? That's the question. All right. Mom requested another one that I'm actually not going to do just because, to be honest, I actually wrote it for singers. I didn't write it for myself. I wrote it for another singer who is far more accomplished than I, and I'm going to keep practicing it for next time. Eventually I'll be able to sing it the way I want to. I'm going to finish up with this one. This one's called Your Love Is Enough. It's dedicated to my wonderful, amazing, brilliant fiancé. I wrote it after he proposed, which was about 8 months ago, something like that. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching my first live stream. You got about 4 minutes to get comments in to the chats. I'll let you guys know when the next one is. I'm really grateful that you're all here. And don't forget that you can be a patron of Trash Can Dream by going to patreon.com/trashcandream. We appreciate your help in getting this music out of the home studio and into a real studio. All right, guys, this is my last song for the evening. Your Love Is Enough. In every lover's eye, there wells an anxious tear. It threatens to defy the empty chair. Each time we wonder if our love is enough. Ooh. I am no stranger to that glistening water drop. Trembles along to my troubled thoughts, as I still wonder if my love is enough. And I found myself caught in the cold love of a loneliness grew old, then you came running. I found myself longing to be lost like a child at sea. myself caught in the cold. Loneliness grew old, then you came before me. Suddenly you had appeared. I loved you first, my dear. Please take these words I sing, the best that I could find. These words are what I mean, I speak my mind. Don't ever wonder if your love is enough. Oh, your love is enough for me. Thank you, Philippe. All right, you guys. Thank you so. Philippe, you're a little late on the requests, my friend. If you had been here an hour ago, I would have. Next time. I got to finish up because it's getting late and my neighbors are going to not want me to keep singing this late into the evening. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. It's nice to see you. I will probably upload this for full consumption later on, but I'm going to have a listen first and check it's all okay. All right, I will let you guys know when the next live stream is. Have a fantastic evening. Good night, all. Good night, no privacy. Good night, apostomatic. Good night, Philippe. Good night, Mom. Good night, Pub Test. And to all the mystery people out there, it's been great having you here. I'll chat to you next time. Bye-bye.